My name's Harry, and today I'm going to walk you through deploying your first Kontena service. And in this case, it's going to be using a small Go program. And we're going to build this. We're going to build a container image. We're going to push that. And we're going to deploy that as a service using Kontena. So for those of you who haven't heard of it, Kontena is an orchestration tool or an orchestration service whereby we can go ahead and create a container platform on the Kontena cloud, or because it's all completely open source, we can create our own. And then on here we can deploy through this we can deploy our services, and it gets a little bit more involved than what I'm going to go through today. But this is just a basic tutorial, the hello world of container services, if you like. And yeah, we're going to go through it. So this is the web interface that you'll see. If you haven't got an account already, just go ahead and create one. It takes 2 minutes. And then after that, go and download the CLI tools. And we're good to get going. The only other thing, of course, to bear in mind is that we'll be creating nodes. Kontena supports various cloud providers. I'm pretty sure as of now Azure, DigitalOcean and AWS are on there. So as long as you have one of those, you should be good to go. In this example, I'm going to be using DigitalOcean. So that's pretty much it for now. And let's go ahead and start. Let's start deploying our app. So first of all, let's have a look at it. So it's a very small Hello World web server written in Go. And we're going to make a small modification to this. Instead of Hello World, I think we'll do something like Hello Kontena, and we'll add a new line there as well. So just to make sure this works, we're going to build it and run it. And if we go into another tab, we should be able to kill localhost and see that everything is running fine. So that's our application running locally on our machine, not in the container, just the binary itself. So which brings us on to our next thing, which is going to be creating a Docker image for this. So we can't use this because we're going to need a Linux binary to do that. So first we can compile that, we can cross-compile that by specifying the Go OS here, and then just do our regular Go build. We'll have verbose output and we'll write to hello Kontena. So I just did the verbose so you can see when we cross-compile like this, it does build up the standard library, so it takes a little bit longer to do, but for a small application like this, as you can see, it's already done. So it's not too long. And obviously this will not run on here, but we're going to now create our Docker image so we can test it locally as well. So to do that, we'll create our Docker file. And this is going to be super simple. It's going to be using the scratch image, so nothing. All we're going to do is copy our Linux binary to the root. And we'll just give it the same name. And that's also going to be our entry point as well. So let's just do that. Okay, and that's about it. Really simple. There's not really a lot going on there. So we can now go and build that Docker image. And Hasbro is my Docker username, so we're going to be pushing it to the public Docker registry, and then just simply pull it down like that. So this should be all fine. We haven't specified a tag, so that's just going to be latest, which is also fine. And we should be able to go and run this now before pushing it. So we do docker run, we'll port map 80 on 80. Kontena, and we'll just go to our new tab, and again we'll kill local, if I can spell that, localhost, and we can see our application is now running the Linux binary inside of our Docker container. So our next order of business is to push this up to the Docker registry, which is as simple as that. And that's there now. So that's all of that done. Our application is built, it's packaged, it's in the registry, it's ready to be deployed as a container service. So the first thing we'll do is to log into the Kontena cloud, which will prompt us with, oh, okay, so already logged in. So if you weren't already, it'll prompt you with a browser window. You go and log in, and it does it all automatically. It's pretty nice. So we're logged in now. So we're going to go and create a Kontena platform on the Kontena cloud. And we'll not pass anything. We just answer the questions here. We'll call it my app. Yep. EU West will do. Just one node. Just because we're testing it, we're not really doing much. And this should take a couple of minutes usually, and once this is done, we'll then create our first node, and that node will be created on DigitalOcean. So make sure you have an API access token handy, because it will ask for that. And you can store that in an environment variable, so you don't have to paste it in or be prompted for it or anything like that. We're just going to regenerate a new one. So yeah, so we'll just wait for this. Okay, so it looks like our platform's created. If we just head over to the web browser, we should see, here we are, my app. So our platform that's automatically updated, and it's prompting us here in the Getting Started tab. We can actually add nodes straight from here. So you can see this is what's available for us. And like I said, we're going to be using DigitalOcean. So go ahead, and if you don't already have an account, go make it. Takes 2 minutes to make one, and then you can generate an API token. So we're going to regenerate our DigitalOcean API token, which I will revoke very soon after making this. So we'll copy that, and we'll go back to our terminal. So we're going to create a new node. Now what you should bear in mind here is if this command doesn't work, the Kontena DigitalOcean command, that's because you may need to install the Kontena DigitalOcean plugin. Now I don't remember the exact command off the top of my head, but as you go through the installation process, or if you go through one of the DigitalOcean guides on the Kontena website, it'll say straight away. I think it's Kontena plugin install DigitalOcean or something like that, just in case you don't have it. So we'll go ahead and create our node, and it's going to prompt us for a few things. The first being our API token, and since we're in England, we'll just go with London. And this is the CoreOS channel selection. It uses CoreOS, and CoreOS comes in 3 flavors here. We're just going to go with stable, and we'll go with a 1 gig and just 1 droplet also, and that key. So we just need to wait a minute now for our droplet to be created. Okay, so it looks like our droplet has been created, and it's been added to our My App grid. So now it's time to go ahead and create our service. So we'll do that, and then that service, in this case, is going to be deployed onto that droplet. And if we just run this with help, we can see there's lots of options that can be passed here. The only mandatory parameters here are the name of our service and the image, the Docker image that we'll be using. So I think for the options, we'll only be specifying a port in this case, and that's just going to be 8080, like 80 map to 80, and I think that's about it. So let's go ahead and do that. So hello Kontena being the name of our service, and the image, which is right there. So let's run that. And creating a service is really quick. It usually only takes, in this case, it took like a second. And if we go to our My App grid here and click on services, we can see our services right there. We can see the ports. So what happens if we click this? We get some information on it right here. We get logs. It's really cool, this web interface. Like, it's really clean. It gives you all the information, and you can get pretty much all the information using the CLI tool. This is just I think this looks really clean. So let's go back to the CLI, and we're going to go ahead and deploy that service. Which is really simple. It's that simple. We just pass through the name of the service that we created and it will deploy it. So let's go and have a look, and we can list our services. You can type list, or you can simply type ls, and we can see here that it is indeed running. So we can get a bit more information about our service through the CLI. So to do that, we'll do Kontena service show, and then we'll type in the name of the service. And we can see the public IP for our service as well. So let's go ahead and grab that. And if we curl to it, you can see that our application is indeed live. And that's pretty much it. In this case, we've gone from having a Hello World Go program built into a binary, pushed to a container registry, and deployed as a Kontena service in just a few minutes. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and goodbye.